My name is Larisha George, and this presentation focuses on the social change campaign regarding child abuse in the United States. As stated earlier, the identified social problem I will be discussing is child abuse. Child abuse is when a parent or caregiver intentionally harm or mistreats a child under the age of 18. Caregivers can be categorized as parents, siblings, teachers, doctors, daycare workers, or anyone who has responsibility of the child at the time the abuse occurred. According to Higgins, child abuse does not occur in isolation, and for children who have been exposed to abuse, they experience many forms of maltreatment. Some of the types of child abuse include neglect, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse. These types of abuse can have a long-term effect on a child, especially if it is not taken care of or it is not handled at the time that the abuse is occurring. What are the root causes of child abuse? According to Chamberlain, the root causes of child abuse can be grouped into three large scopes, which include personal pathology, issues such as alcohol and drug abuse, and other instabilities such as mental and psychological problems, role malfunction, which involves the parent's lack of knowledge concerning child development and a lack of modeling as a result of poor relations, and social factors such as poverty, unemployment, and social inequity. In simpler terms, there are many causes of child abuse, and the reasoning for it can be complex as every situation is different. Some of the root causes of child abuse will include lack of support from family members, meaning that they feel like they're alone and they have no one to turn to for help. Substance abuse, which could be drug or alcohol abuse. Domestic violence, which can take place in the home between parents or between family members. Stress, which of course can include postpartum, could include just being stressed about everyday, day-to-day activities, and a history of child abuse that is passed down from generations, meaning that the parent who is causing this harm to the child may have experienced that harm as a child and never have healed from that abuse. Who is the population that is affected by child abuse? The main people who are impacted by child abuse would, of course, be the children who are being abused, the person that is abusing them, and family members of the abused and or abusees. As stated before, the different types of child abuse are physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. Child abuse is the leading cause for children to end up in foster care. So, how do I know that this is a social problem? According to the most recent federal data, there are currently more than 400,000 children in foster care in the United States, and this number grows each and every day. My advocacy plan is bringing awareness to the issue of child abuse. To frame this issue, I am creating ways to showcase how big of a problem child abuse really is in the United States. If no intervention is done to address this issue, the number of children in foster care will increase, the number of child deaths will increase, and the number of child abusers will continue for generations. Another campaign that is focusing on these issues is NCAND, which stands for End Child Abuse and Neglect. The strategy I will utilize is a community-centered approach. The three tactics include collaboration, organizing, and partnering. I will collaborate with the local Division of Family and Children Services to bring awareness to the issue of child abuse by hosting a fundraiser to provide parenting classes to child abuse offenders. I will organize an End Child Abuse rally with the help of local community leaders and law enforcement to discuss the outcome of child abuse. I will partner with therapy offices to provide free counseling to children who have been abused, and I will partner with local school counselors and teachers to educate them in what to look for when there are concerns of child abuse in the child's home. I will also partner with parents in the community to let them know of appropriate discipline methods and what would be considered to be excessive and what could be considered to be child abuse. I've decided to use these tactics because I believe it's hands-on and it will be a great help to let people in the community understand the importance of knowing about child abuse and ways to stop it. In order to communicate these messages of my campaign, I will host a social media campaign which will be called NCA, which is End Child Abuse, and I will also work with local politicians to spread the word of my movement so that everyone in the community knows about this movement. The goal is to reduce the stigma of abuse and neglect, to bring the issues of child abuse out in the open, and work together to drive positive solutions. Primary prevention strategies involve the provision of services which are available to the community with the purpose of raising awareness and introducing service providers to the goals and objectives of awareness programs dealing with child abuse. Awareness campaigns through various forms of media is essential since it has a wide outreach among communities, encouraging appropriate ways of parenting. Second, prevention programs target risk factors which are prevalent among communities with high incidences of substance abuse, poverty, and early motherhood. In this category, programs that are implemented include parental education for early mothers, interventions for substance and drug abuse, and referral opportunities for families with economic disadvantage. Living in low-income neighborhoods and in order to counter the casual economic factor to child abuse. The focus of these programs is to minimize the negative impacts that arise as a result of child abuse, for example, socio-emotional effects in children and academic effects. In the capacity of these programs, the aim is to improve family preservation through counseling services for children who have experienced abuse, mentorship programs for parents facing socioeconomic challenges, and just making sure that the community is safe and is working together to defeat child abuse. To achieve this goal, support will be needed from local officials such as the governor, the mayor, and local politicians, and the help of the community. We always say that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a community to bring awareness and to create a positive atmosphere in this world.